raha tupate na ustawi. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike, umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Let us believe and pray. Our kind and everlasting Father Jehovah, we come before you this day. We thank you, Jehovah, for the gift of life. Thank you, Jehovah, for enabling us to be here, Jehovah, and to be able, Jehovah, to celebrate Maloba, Jehovah, King of Glory, Jehovah, during this time, Heavenly God. Father God, as we begin this occasion, Heavenly God, may your presence be here, Heavenly God, and may you be with everyone, Jehovah, that is here, Jehovah, and even the ones, Jehovah, that are traveling here, Jehovah, may you be with them, guide them, and protect them. In Jesus' name we do pray, believing and trusting. Amen.
Thank you, and a big appreciation to KU Choir. So, karibuni sana once again. I want to go straight to the event citation, after which our vision as the organizers of this particular ceremony or this launch is to make it short and sweet. And being Kenyan, I know that we can't do this or we can't achieve this on an empty stomach, truth be told, right? Is it not so, comrades? Can we do this on an empty stomach? Or we can? So there's no need for dinner. Is there a need for dinner? Or we just carry on? So after the event citation, we will have our dinner as our VIPs keep on streaming into the venue. Then we'll formally have the speeches begin. Let's all be upstanding. Let's all stand up. Let's all stand up for Albert Maloba. Let's clap. Let's join in clapping for them. aya. Asante sana. Let's give them a round of applause. Asante sana. That is the lovely Kaboma Band, Kaboma Cultural Band. Let's give them one more round of applause for that wonderful performance. Asanteni sana. I'm very, very honored and privileged to announce to us all that the man of the hour himself is right here with us. And without his intention to pen down this marvelous book, we would have not found ourselves here. So once again, congratulations, Albert Maloba. All right, sawa, I can see that finally we have our member of parliament for Funyula constituency inside of this hall. Let's give him a round of applause for making time for us. Asante sana Mheshimiwa for joining us in this particular exercise. I'm duly informed by your team that you want to make the address as soon as possible for the purposes of time. So at this point in time, allow me to invite the Member of Parliament for Funyula constituency to the stage to make the opening remarks for this particular book launch. Karibu sana Mheshimiwa. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes.
Good evening. It's a pleasure for me to stand here today as we launch Albert's book. Probably let me just start with a bit of history. Albert is a young man I've known for a very, very long time. The late mother was a very good political mobilizer and a relative in a way. In addition, my second born son, Wycliffe, were with him at Moi University, almost at the same time, actually the same year. And they actually graduated, I think, the same year. So I stand here today. I do not even stand here basically as a member of parliament, but I stand here like a father to Albert as I stand here today. Secondly, Albert works in an office that I interact with in my position as a member of parliament and a member of the Committee of Trade, Industry and Cooperative, the National Assembly, as well as Public Accounts Committee. So I stand here, I'm no stranger to the young man who has had the time and the courage to prepare, spend time, and produce a book about comrades. I also stand here as a former, an ex or retired comrade, so to speak. I joined the University of Nairobi during that transition period between boom and the HELB period. Obviously, that transition was tough and difficult, and indeed, the powers of the comrade came to be noticed or to be unveiled as it were during that time. I also happened to have been at the university during the transition from one-party rule to multi-party. And I remember the Saba. I remember the numerous fights. We had the GSU and the police being a resident of Hall 13. And those of you who have been at the University of Nairobi know Hall 13, you can climb on top plus ADD and throw as many stones as you can to the policemen and the GSU standing down there. So I understand the struggle, understand the agitation, and I understand what it means to be a comrade. I also stand here having been a lecturer at the University of Nairobi for many, many years, close to 10 or so years. Both I started as a tutorial fellow. I went through all the way to become a senior lecturer before I left to join parliament. So in those almost 10 years, I interacted with young men and women as students in their various capacities. I understood their challenges, understood their tribulations, and understood the expectation and aspirations in life. I also stand here as a father of 3 biological children who have all gone through university. I have interacted with them, I have understood them, and I know what it means to be a comrade and what to expect thereafter. Probably ultimately I stand here as a member of parliament since 2017. And in those years, I've also had the singular duty and privilege of interacting with university students in various aspects. I've been invited in many of their functions. I've had to preside over the education support system and understand their frustrations. For us as a constituency, once every year, and specifically on 29th December, we always have a sitting and a meeting with the university students and college students to get to understand what the challenges that face them on a daily basis. I do believe and trust that Albert's book has adequately, sufficiently documented the struggles, the expectations, the challenges, and what it means to be a comrade. As I stand here, once again I want to commend him and recommend the book he has written to all those who have any way been associated with university students, college students, any parent who has a student in colleges or university, any leader who presides over the affairs of young people who are in various colleges, universities, and learning institutions. As a leader, let me speak now as a leader, we understand the challenges and the frustrations. And allow me to use the term comrade to extend beyond those who are in university, to include those who have just finished university and are struggling one way or another to find a footing in society. Also allow me to extend this talk to all those who have actually been probably have gotten somewhere or they're doing something, but still they feel the country has not unearthed or allowed them to express their potential. I was in Parliament last year when the agitation of Gen Z, Generation Z, so to speak, started festering. And I kept on telling my colleagues from the other side and those who are collaborating with the government as it was then, that what we are seeing happening, what we are seeing fomenting, is no joke. It is something that we leaders must listen. And we must listen keenly, not just superficially, not just for purposes of making the young people happy. I'm happy that what the young people did for this country is something that will be remembered for many, many years to come. It has changed the discourse. It has changed the way we leaders and we politicians treat the very many issues that keep on coming up in our daily life. I want to assure you, those of us who can understand and who can listen will always listen and become your voice in wherever you want us to become your voice. I told our colleagues that these young guys are determined because I have most of them. I have Gen Zs, I have young people in my house. I have even those who are my foster parent, and they consult me and talk to me very many ways. And of course, as politicians, not all of you are like us politicians. There are those of you who like us, but the majority of you hate us. Hate us because of our bad manners, hate us because of what we do, because we don't listen and do to what you guys expect us to do. So as we listen, we also get to learn a lot. And many times, it influences and shapes the decisions and the way we behave. If, as we continuously wrong you, as in the National Assembly, as well as in the Senate, as well as in the various county assemblies, It's not my state to offer apology on their behalf, but I offer apology for being one of them, because as they always say, where I come from in my community, if one fish rots, the entire basket of the fish rots. You cannot avoid the stench of a fellow stinking member as we stand together. I do this not because I look up below, I belittle my colleagues, but I know some of us have not done what's expected of us. And it's a call for us wherever we are to rise up and continuously remind our representative in whatever capacity that it is you, the people who employ us, so we are answerable and accountable to you guys. I don't want to take so long because it's a day to celebrate, but I just also want to make one or two closing remarks. Number one, we are your parents. We are your elders. We are your seniors. As much as you want to correct us, you want to mock us, you want to beat us into submission, you want to put us to line, please don't be too hard on us. Some of us are old and conservative. Sometimes it hurts some of us. The other day I listened to my colleague, the women rep of Mombasa. She was fairly disturbed with the kind of caricature that was made of Mama Suluhu, the president of Tanzania. Being a Muslim lady, the president being a Muslim lady, many of the Muslim women and the Muslim community did not take it kindly. They did not take it as good. As we do, try as much as possible, being hard and factual, but do not cross certain borders because we are your parents. There are some things you can do to your parents that others will restrain yourself from saying or doing to your parents. Because remember, whatever you do to yourself, they might also do to you when you get old, the way we are. Finally, we used to say the future belongs to the young people. We have changed that narrative to say the future belongs to the current belongs to the young people. We have a watershed election 2027 in which the young people will determine the destiny of this country. You have the singular responsibility to assert the role and place of the young people in the history of this country. If you let that opportunity slip away, no any other person will ever take young people seriously. You will have lost that golden opportunity. You had it last year, but because of other intervening factors, that opportunity was lost. In 2027, do not let it get lost. And how will you not get it lost? Be a decision maker in the 2027 elections. And the only way you can be a decision maker, make sure you register as a voter, make sure you cast your vote. It is no use to register and then you don't cast your vote. You would have allowed the oppressive, the government or leadership you don't like to continue presiding over the affairs of this country. Register, make sure you vote. Secondly, whatever it can, in whatever capacity, offer yourself in one way or another to change the course of your immediate community by voting or actually presenting yourself to be elected in whichever way you look at it. And I keep on challenging the young people. My colleague, the Maverick, Honorable Salasia, did not win an election because he had money. He won an election because he appealed to the innate culture, the innate feeling of his people. You do not need money. In any case, if you seem and look like somebody who will win, the so-called influencers in your community will always come to you to assist you. Devolution 85% of whatever the people of Kenya require currently is devolved functions. And those devolved functions are presided over by elected leaders called members of the county assembly. They make the laws, they pass the budgets, the oversight, they're the first line of oversight to the governors and county executive committee members. Do not run away from that level, because that's where life-changing decisions are being made. I encourage you, do not run away. Do not think the National Assembly has it all it takes. Many of the resources are devolved. We must guard devolution because it's the vanguard of development of this country. Of course, being a politician, coming from a lecturer, where you allowed 3 hours to talk, I could have as well utilized those 3 hours, but I don't want to bore you. I just want to thank you for those who have spared to come today for this event. Please support the young man Albert and encourage anybody else who has got ideas. And this is the second event I'm presiding over for a young man from my constituency. The other day, we presided over a novel written by a young man, Blemish Hans, that we held at a place called Samia Resort in my constituency. It's my great pleasure again to stand here today and preside over another of a similarly young man from Funyula constituency, a Samia. So if you want to go places, associate yourself with a Samia. If you are a young girl here and you are still single and searching, if you want to go places, look for Samia man. You will be in a good place to proceed. Thank you very much. May God bless you. Asante sana.
I want to also take this opportunity to recognize a few national leaders, as well as county leaders, as well as student leaders, ex-student leaders who are inside of this hall tonight, even as we wait for the VIPs who are making their way in this lovely evening. I want to recognize, and of course when the right time comes, he'll make his remarks, and to recognize the presence of the member of County Assembly for Karen Ward. MCA Karen Ward, let's give him a round of applause. Thank you so much, sir, for making time. I also want to take this opportunity to recognize the presence of a youth leader and a celebrated leader as well in our country, that is Honorable Begi Gisicho. Begi Gisicho is in the building. Let's give him a round of applause. Asante sana, Mheshimiwa, for making time. I also want to recognize the presence of ex-student presidents, ex-student chairmen who are inside of this hall tonight. Ex-president for Moi University, Mr. Eric Kefa, is he inside of this hall? Mr. Eric Kefa. All right, let's give him a round of applause. That is former president for Moi University. I want to also recognize former president for University of Nairobi, but I guess still the president of East African Students Union, if I'm not wrong, Mr. Honorable, Anthony Manyara. Anthony Manyara is in the building. Let's give him a round of applause. Asante sana for making time. I think we have leaders whose names have not yet gotten to us. Kindly, the protocol team, allow us get the names in good time so that we are able to recognize them. At this point in time, I don't want to keep you guys waiting. Let's go have something small for our tummies as we get to the secondary stages of this particular launch. We are gonna do it systematically. To our comrades who are seated at the far end of the hall, you will remain seated for now as arrangements are being made for you. We are going to...
Comrades power. Comrades power. Comrades ria. Thank you so much. My name is Anthony Manyara. I stopped very long time ago introducing myself as the president of KUSOM, but since people have branded me as the lifetime president, I'll introduce myself as so. I'm an architect by profession. Maloba has been my friend for a very long time. Ever since he was the president of SOMU, the president of Students' Organization of Moi University. He has been a powerful student leader. He has impacted very positively to very many students' lives. And not only had he been the president of Moi University, he was also a key student leader nationally. And this book that he has written, if you will get some time to read it, I encourage everyone here to buy it. You realize it has immense wisdom. In it, you realize that comrades are barometers of wisdom and catheters of knowledge. Kuna mambo mingi sana ambayo Maloba ameandika pale kwa ile kitabu. And if people do not know what a student leader is all about and what they fight for, then there is a serious clue. There are clues on how to carry yourself. There are clues on how to survive in student politics in that book. I didn't want so much talk. I was in a hurry. I was headed somewhere. Nikaambia Maloba respectfully, nikuje nitoe my 2 comments. I congratulate him. It's not easy to write a book. Mimi nimekuwa nikipanga kuandika kitabu since 2021. Mpaka saa hii sijafika sijui chapter ya pili. But since kuna chat GPT, I think I will try to be helped. Or I will consult Maloba. Hebu tupigie Maloba makofi. Pia nimeona former president wa Kenyatta University hapa. And he's a revolutionary. So mimi naomba pia wewe andika kitabu kiongozi. I think he was the first person wakati wa COVID, he was given a hand of state commendation. We want student leaders in this country to guide the generations after us on how to be in school. Because there are so many challenges young people are facing. Unaingia university, it's not the only problem that you face. Ukishamaliza na uko na hiyo degree, how will you survive? You need to understand the concepts of student leadership, how leaders behave, there are many challenges in leadership, all those things. Now the best place to start is buying this book of Maloba. Maloba, congratulations. Tunasemanga the first rule of comradeship. The first rule is a comrade is always right. The second rule of comradeship, a comrade is never wrong. And the third one, refer to the rule number 1. So Maloba, mimi nakuheshimu sana. Mimi kwa student leadership yangu nimekuwa na marafiki na maandui in equal measure. And Maloba has been on this side of friends for a very long time. Nataka kushukuru sana kiongozi. This moment, writing a book is very monumental. Ni venye wale wajaandika vitabu hawezi jua. But trust me you, it's not easy. Wacha nimalizie hapo na niwashukuru sana wale wote wame make it to attend. Maloba wale wacha make it to attend. Make a process. Tengeneza kitu ambayo itaweza kufika huko my universities. Students may want to know how it is to be a comrade. Sio? So connect me, nitakupea the current presidents. Every year presidents wapya wakielectiwa, mimi wana receive, tunafanya nao kazi. Wengine wakikuja, I'm the only constant thing. So we will organize with the current ones. Wapeleke hiyo kitabu yako kwa mashule. Asante sana.
Cameras, wanahabari wetu. Asante sana. Let's give a round of applause for Honorable Anthony Manyara. Anthony is famed for helping students get their money in time.
Kama kuna current president wa any university hapa na nitamununulia kitabu. Hata kama ni 20 ama 30 nitawanunulia. Ndio wajue wataongoza namna gani. Asante.
Wapi makofi ya Anthony? Asante sana Anthony for the kind gesture. Our choir kindly make it up front to the stage so that you can give us your performance. Let's give them a round of applause as they come. I want to ask my colleague who doubles up as African Youth Leadership Champion, Ms. Mweni, to prepare to make her remarks. But before she comes to the stage, I want to recognize, I'm told inside of this hall we have presidents. Presidents are inside here, and it would be out of order completely not to recognize these heads of institutions, not states. Topping the list is the Secretary General Emeritus of Cooperative University, Mr. Newton Kipleting. Mr. Newton, are you in the building? Awesome. Let's give him a round of applause. Mr. Newton, come. I want us to play again. Come. We want to play a very small game with these presidents. I also want to recognize the presence of the president for Gretsa University, Mr. Faldo Ouma. Faldo Ouma, are you in the building? President Gretsa? Okay, in absentia. President African Nazarene, Alice Mulinge, Her Excellency. Her Excellency Alice, are you in the building? All right, come. Make it to the dais kindly, Alice. We have the Secretary General for ZTech University, Mr. Paul. Mr. Paul, are you in? Mr. Paul? All right, okay. Asante sana. Emeritus Finance Director for Technical University of Kenya, Miss Millie Kigweru. Miss Millie, are you in the building? Let's give a round of applause as she makes it to the dais. Asante sana, Millie, for making time. President Technical University of Kenya, His Excellency Moses Okal. Moses Okal, His Excellency, are you in? Kindly make it to the dais. And finally, we have Emeritus President, Cooperative University, Mr. Brian Obiero. His Excellency, Brian Obiero, are you in? Let's give a round of applause for His Excellency, Brian. So we may not have time for Your Excellencies to address this honorable congregation, but I'm gonna give you 3 seconds to tell us one truth and 2 lies about yourselves before you sit down. Your Excellencies, allow me to do this exercise with all due respect. Just 1 lie and 1 truth and 2 lies about yourself. Kindly let's give them a round of applause as they tell us about themselves. Take it away. 1 truth and 2 lies about yourself. Make it quick, Your Excellency.
Two lies. People say that I'm tall. And they also say that 2027 I'll not be vying. Those are 2 lies.
Let's give him a round of applause.
The last lie, the last one and the truth is I'm married.
Let's give him a round of applause for that. I mean, why are you all shocked? Asante sana, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm Carl Moses. 2 lies. I'm the president of Oxford University. I'm soft-spoken. 1 truth, I'm honest.
Okay, for the purposes of whatever is going in, let's give them a round of applause as they sit down. Asanteni sana, and sorry for that hiccup. Let's be upstanding for the government spokesperson. Let's all be upstanding for the government spokesperson.
Government.
Bandu bahuyanza, Moshimuri wanje, bandu bahuyanza, Murawari wanje, bandu bahuyanza. Oh, ibulala, ibulala, oh, ibulala, ibulala. Murawari wanje, bandu bahuyanza, Murawari wanje, bandu bahuyanza, Murawari wanje, bandu bahuyanza. Andoni woi wanje, bandu bahuyanza. Oh, ibulala, ibulala, oh, ibulala, ibulala. Murawari wanje, bandu bahuyanza, bandu bari wanje, bandu bahuyanza, bandu bari wanje.
Asante sana, asante sana. Asante sana. Thank you, thank you. Of course, that's Kaboma Cultural Band doing their very, very best to keep us entertained.
1, 2. So because I'm young, allow me to stand on all protocols observed. So excellencies are very rare words, but today, because we are shifting the narrative and changing the narrative, allow me to address Maloba as a future excellency. Future excellency. And the future is very bright, Maloba. I can see the signals are not very good here. So Viva Africa, Viva. Comrades, Viva Africa, Viva. Honorable Maura, our chief guest today. Albert Maloba, a young person who has a focus and a vision, and someone who is very enlightened and ready to support other youths. Standing on all protocols observed, governments, personalities in the house. And the most important people who are in this place today, those are the young people. Do we have young people here? Do we have young people? The room doesn't look like it has energy for young people. DJ, ama tuanguke nao kidogo alafu ndio turudi. Eh? Eh? Vijana tuanguke nao kidogo. Ama mnasikia njaa? Ni ubao. Aya, sawa. Tutarudi kuanguka nao in a short while. So I'm here to say two things. My name is Ms. Ruth Mweni Mokwana, as I've been introduced, a very good friend to Maloba. I hold the title HAC, currently given by His Excellency the President, because of championing matters of youth across Africa. But today I stand here as a very close friend to Maloba, and to just say a few things on behalf of him. So before he comes to speak to us, there's one thing about Maloba. Maloba is very unique. In which way? You know, the first day I met him, I had not met P.S. Susan, but the first time I met him, he looked like a P.S. in himself, you know? You go to Madame Susan's office and then he's very in charge over there, just doing his thing. And then you ask yourself, who is this guy? Because he's calling the shots. And then when I got to meet him and get to understand who exactly he is, I understood that he's a listener, one thing, and secondly, he's a leader, because he gets to listen to the matter at hand and then gets to give a solution in each and every situation. And today, you know, we, the young people across Africa, and I will speak for my country at large, is we have the power that has been given to us. We have the voice, and that's why we're changing the narrative. And I like the fact that somebody like Maloba is changing the narrative. Coming on board as a comrade, and also as a former student leader back in campus, I want to say that once a comrade, forever a comrade. So Maloba, we are grateful to join you here today. This might look like cliche to many of us, to people outside there, but for the people in this room today, this is not a cliche. I want to tell you that. The future has just begun, and you yourself, just believe in your dreams. Do not allow any other person to write your story. Take a pen and write your story as you're doing. In addition to that, Maloba, look at the people seated around your table today. Look at them. And table 2, 3, 4. And the comrades behind there, I know Busia is here at large. Table 2, 3, 4. Maloba, are you seeing anyone above 50 years? Are you seeing anyone? Eh? Oh, there's a 50, okay. Sema, Sema, no, yeah. Are you seeing anyone? Let's say 45 is good. It's a good number. We are still on it. Are you seeing 60s? Oh, okay. I hear you, Maloba. I'm gonna be quiet. So this is a story. The people inside here are the ones who are going to support you to the latter. These people mean well for you, and that's why they are here today. And as you change that narrative, as you keep climbing high, as Michelle Obama says, when they go low, we go high. We are here to tell you that we are with you in the journey, and we are here to support you. And to start off the book launch after our chief guest has come on board to speak to us. As a young person from this country, I would start getting your book at 100,000 Kenya shillings. This is just to show you that We believe in what you are doing. We are setting the pace, and we are not changing that narrative. We are changing the narrative, but we are supporting you to the latter. And this is to our leaders. I just want to say that. Make room for us, because we are coming. And we are not coming small. We are coming big. Asanteni sana. So standing on all those protocols, I don't know if the MC would allow me to invite our chief guest. Okay. So I have been guided that I can take to stage to do that. So our chief guest here today, I know I don't have his bio past when he was in campus and all those things, but what I can say is that as the MC comes, so what I can say is that there's a quote that says, the power of youth lies not in only in our strength or energy, but in vision, voice, and the courage to imagine a better tomorrow. As you can see, the government spokesperson who is seated here today is a man of a vision, a man who has shown us that even when you're young, you are able to lead and take charge and do the things that you need to do right. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests who are seated here with us, kindly let's all be upstanding to invite our government spokesperson, Honorable Isaac Mwaura. And we're going to do that in style. Makofi. Moja. Mbili. Tatu. Asante sana. Let's move the podium, but the network there is crazy. The network there is not good.
Good evening. It gives me a lot of pleasure to stand before you here today to witness this great occasion for young people drawn from what I can call the estate of ambition. When I was asking Maloba who are the people that I am going to see tonight, he was very apt because he said that they are young people who are in between finishing school and getting jobs. And I told him that I have been there, where you wear a nice suit, you fake it until you make it. That was my story when I finished Kenyatta University in 2006. Having been a student leader of the Kenyatta University Student Association, indeed, the first person with albinism to be elected as student leader in that university. And I had a dream that one day I'll become a member of parliament. But I was wondering, what is it means to transition from being a student leader to being a national leader? I knew I had a task. First, to make people to understand what is albinism and what is disability, because I saw it as an obstacle, because the biggest barrier to disability is attitude. And I remember very well when I joined my first political party, the Orange Democratic Movement. I was the youngest in the National Executive Committee, and only at the age of 24 years. Earlier on, I had also been privileged to be appointed in the first board of the National Council for Persons with Disabilities, 1 out of 8, a national board, the equivalent of the National Youth Council or any other body that would represent a certain group of people at the age of 22. But earlier on, I had become a student leader at the age of 20, and at 21, I had represented my country out of the country in various fora. Why am I giving this story? It's because I can relate with the story of Maloba, his memoir, to reflect on what it meant to be a president of the students at Moi University, but also transitioning to become a personal assistant to the principal secretary for MSME, my good friend Susan Auma Mangeni. In fact, what I did not tell you is that we were two young people in the neck of ODM then, and the other one was Susan Auma Mangeni. So that tells you, you rise and grow with the peers. We almost became members of parliament together with her, nominated for her to represent the youth in 2013. I was successful, she was not. And that also tells us one thing, that every one of us travels their own journey to become that which God has ordained you to be. But today, I was reading in the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 11, that was detailing about David and how he became king. One of the things that struck me was the fact that he had valiant soldiers. There were 3 men of great repute, and some other 2, who out of their sheer heroism of killing lions, of one man who killed 300 men with one spear, they got national acclaim. And the lesson there that we have is that any one leader, no matter how young, they have the opportunity to rise and become great if they excel in their area of pursuit. When I see Maloba here, even the simple gesture of the portrait that we've seen here, I see a young, restless Kenyan who is daring to dream to become. Maloba, I want to tell you, your dreams are valid. Your dreams are valid because the one who said that statement to Peter Nyong'o, herself and I dreamt together. In fact, we did a movie together when she used to dream together with me, and we would talk how she would one day want to end up in Hollywood. She became. I told you that also myself, I dreamt of entering parliament. In fact, 3 years after I finished school in 2009, we presented a petition in the National Assembly about our rights. And I was sitting in the speaker's gallery, and Gitobi Manyara, then member of parliament, was a temporary speaker. And when I looked down at that hallway, I felt that I belonged there. Dreams are valid because exactly 3 years later, I was sitting in that chamber. That same year in 2009, I had a strategic plan that in 3 years' time I should be in parliament. That tells you that it is important for you to plan. Na Waswahili wanasema kwamba ukiona vielea vimeundwa. Don't ever underestimate the power of a determined soul to go against all odds, to weather the storm so that they can achieve that which is there. Student leadership is a very good breeding ground for future leaders. And Kenya is replete with great leaders who at some point were student leaders. One of the most famous ones is James Agri Bob Orengo. I think he was chairman of SONU. And today he is the governor of Siaya. I used to read him in the newspapers, but we ended up serving with him in the Senate. Another one is Peter Anyang' Nyong'o, who is the governor of Kisumu, and who happens to be my political mentor, the one who held my hand. There are 3 people that you need in your journey to greatness. Number 1, you need men and women of influence. People who have a name. People who can open doors for you. You can ride on their shoulders. And as Nelson Mandela said, we stand on the shoulders of giants. So, men of influence. The other person that you need in your journey to greatness is destiny connectors. People who, maybe in their simplicity, maybe in their sheer positioning, will connect you to an opportunity of a lifetime. Take keen look at who is your destiny connector. They may come in rather unfashionable manner, but they are there. The other person that you need in your journey to greatness is people who carry your burden. People who have you in mind. Some of them could be in the form of intercessors, because I believe in the power of prayer. Those who really espouse your cause as if it's your personal cause. Take care of them, because even David and any other leader will never make it without the support of great talented people who have their burden. And finally, you also need people of talent, people who are gifted, people who volunteer their skill to make you succeed. I can relate with your story, Maloba, because somebody may have helped you to edit that book until it is actually launchable today. People who have certain tact, and it's very important to identify them, because you need that combination of skill. You need that combination of gift. People who carry your burden, that is where you call loyalty. People who are destiny connectors, and people of influence to make yourself move forward. So if I can relate to those 4 examples so that it is practical, because it's always good to be practical, I would want to say in my journey to become a member of parliament, maybe the person of influence was Raila Odinga. Right? The destiny connector was Anyang' Nyong'o. The people who carried my burden may be many, because it could be those who wished me well, those who called out greatness out of me, so that then I could believe in myself, because sometimes we need that to be well assured. And the people who are gifted, who may have been there to walk with me the journey. I remember how I used to fake it when I was a young activist and a young aspiring politician. So we would go to these very important meetings, and everybody would drive into these meetings. Okay? So what did I do? I never had a car. So what did I do? I would board a matatu, arrive at a certain point, brush my shoes at a shoe shiner, and then hire a taxi for about 500 shillings, and I also get in driving. And I will be on the back left. You are seeing how, you have to be practical. Hata unafunguliwa gate, ama namna gani? So young people who are here, don't listen to the naysayers who tell you that there are no opportunities. Your story is different from one another. It may take you more time for you to make it, but those who are going to make it are those who will be resilient, committed to what they believe in. So Maloba, I hear Ruth Mweni speaking to you here, but I know, and I want to call that out in you, it's a matter of time before you become a member of parliament. You'll be surprised, fellow readers, and I hope there are readers here, not just people who come to buy a well-written book. Are you readers? You don't look like ones. You are too studious. Are you readers? The reason why I came to this meeting to launch this book is because first I'd met Maloba, but we did interact quite a bit. He told me that he's part of a National Students Association. But then he made an effort to make sure that he brought the invitation physically to my office. This invitation had a letter, it had a card, and a mug. Then I thought, wait a minute, this is a serious young man. So that is one reason why I showed up today. The reason why I also came is because I'm a former student leader. Because every time we hear of comrades, power, it reminds us of those days we used to chase around, rioting there at KU, trying to demand for our rights with the likes of Akina Gladys Atieno Nyasuna Wanga. And you'll be surprised, I only saw his invitation yesterday, because he dropped it in an office that I had not visited, because I may have, I have been moving a lot. So that determination, that organization, I think is the one thing that also made my friend Auma Mangeni to have you as a personal assistant. And by the way, for your information, she has been ranked as one of the best performing, very able principal secretaries. Na Waswahili wanasema kwamba ukiona vielea vimeundwa. That tells us that the power behind that organization is this personal assistant. And because I've been a member of parliament, I've been also a nominated senator, the relationship between a PA and the principal is very, very important, because that becomes your number one confidant. And that person is very, very effective in what, in making one to make it. I hear sometimes people saying, oh, this is what it takes. For example, if I look at Farouk Kibet, he's really been very instrumental in the journey of our president to become president, because I was with him, at least when he was deputy president. That's the truth. And for you young people, when you are here and you are looking for opportunities, it is important for you to work under other people, so that then you also learn the skill. Are we together? That is how you pass on the baton. You pass on the baton. I want to finish by saying that the call to leadership is not a call to a party. It is a call to making difficult decisions that may be unpopular with the people. For example, it was a painful decision to disband the NHIF and to start a whole new universal health care program. There was a lot of resistance. People went to court. We were supposed to start registration from 1st of March last year. We only started October last year, 1st of October. But today, just as I came from my office, I had some young journalists there who are doing theater for development. And one of them told us that they have actually someone who rested, may his soul rest in peace, but they wanted to pay, but then SHA has been able to clear all the bill. Last week, I also had another one who told me the sister rested, may her soul rest in peace, but the SHA was able to clear 600,000 shillings as the final bill. So, but somebody had to make a difficult decision that was unpopular. Yeah? Somebody had to make a difficult decision that was unpopular. The same case, you can speak about affordable housing. We had a challenge of financing our own development. Right? And of course, people are arguing, oh, maybe I have a house. But today, it's a reality that we have the tool to actually eradicate slums in Kenya if we are consistent and persistent. To provide affordable housing. It has never happened before that a Kenyan can own a house by contributing only 3,900 shillings a month. We have been able to collect 119 billion shillings, and we are on course to ensure that we fulfill the promise of building 200,000 houses every year going forward. Currently, we are close to 150,000 houses. Already, they are in so many other places. We need to change the mindset of people. The three categories of houses, 3,900 a month. The next one is 7,250. And the third one is 21,160, depending on your income. The one for 3,900 is for anyone who is earning less than 20,000 shillings. That is a legacy project. And I can go on and on and on about what the government has been able to do in terms of, for example, making sure that we have met the guaranteed minimum return, where a coffee farmer who had heretofore could only earn 65 shillings per kilo is going home with up to almost 148 shillings per kilo. The same case with the sugarcane farmers, who are only getting 4,500 per metric ton. Now the new price is 5,500, as per the latest price by the Kenya Sugar Board. When you determine to change the course of a nation, you will face resistance. But leadership is a labor of love. You've got to be able to pay the price in order to transform a nation. Because I believe when we make this change now that we are serving the fifth administration, it makes it possible, like Mweni said, for any one of you who is aspiring to occupy the positions that we have, or we co-govern together, will inherit a better Kenya, and so therefore resolve problems that will be relevant to those generations, because we'll have leapfrogged our country far into the future. I stand here as a patriot as an optimist for this nation, because Kenya now is the third largest economy in sub-Saharan Africa, after South Africa and Nigeria. Kenya's GDP per capita is the 14th in the continent. For the last 2 years, we have been able to get the highest amount of startup capital, $800 million in 2023, $638 million last year and counting. And that means that our young people have innovative ideas that venture capitalists are willing to come and invest. So let us believe in the opportunity, and one at a time we resolve these challenges. And there is no greater challenge than the one that you're able to resolve at whatever level of leadership that you are in. And so, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Kenyans, fellow comrades, I am happy because a young man has been able to put pen into paper and therefore ossify his experiences into posterity so that more people can learn what it means to become a student leader in this time and age. Let's clap for him. Kwa hivyo niseme kwamba nimefurahi sana, na kwa sababu mmenipatia hii heshima ya kuja kusimama na kuongea na nyinyi, niseme asanteni sana. Na Bwana Maloba, endelea vile unavyoendelea. Umekuwa na nyayo nzuri zaidi, unafuatana na watu ambao ni wakuu, unafuatana na watu ambao watakuonyesha njia kama vile wale wengine wamekuwa pale. Wacha niwapatie hadithi kidogo. Mimi na Susan Mangeni, sikiza Maloba, hii hujui. Wakati tulikuwa viongozi wa vijana pale katika chama cha ODM, tulikuwa tunasaidia pia wale ambao walikuwa wamebaki katika vyuo vikuu kutafuta masponyo kwa wanasiasa ndio wasaidie pesa ya kampeni. Si mnaelewa vile inanianga hapo? Unaenda kutoa kwa mwanasiasa mmoja ukitafuta pesa ya kampeni, si ndio? Na nakumbuka tulikuwa mwaka wa 2008 tukiwa na Susan, tulikuwa tumeenda kusaidia kufundraise pesa ya kampeni ya wanafunzi wa Maseno University. Sikumbuki huyo kijana alikuwa anaitwa nani, lakini mwisho alikuja kuwa PA wa Professor Akongo Yugi, wale umetoka Migori mnamjua, alikuwa amewahi kusimama kuwa governor na he was one of the commissioners of CRA. Lakini nani tulikuwa tumeenda kutafuta pesa kwake? Ilikuwa ni Mheshimiwa William Ruto, ambaye alikuwa waziri wa kilimo, Minister for Agriculture. Na ni kweli alitupatia kitita kizuri cha pesa. Alitusaidia. Kwa hivyo hata wewe kama uko hapa, saidia pia wale wengine, ndipo hata wewe mwenyewe hujui utafika wapi. Leo yeye ni rais. Kwa hivyo tusikufe moyo, tusaidiane. You will never have enough to pursue your dream as a leader. Hiyo ndio kidogo kidogo ambayo hujaza kibaba. Huo ndio mwito wa hasla, kwamba tusaidiane, mtu atoke mavumbini, ainuke, awe pia anaweza kusimama hapa na kuwa mtu akutajika na kubadilisha taswira ya ulimwengu na maendeleo ya kijamii. Kwa hayo mengi na machache, nataka kusema asante. Thank you very much for this opportunity, and once again congratulations on this great work. We expect more books from you, just like Barack Obama wrote Dreams from My Fatherland, Audacity of Hope, before he actually wrote the final memoir when he was president. Thank you, and God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to ask you to be upstanding as they cut the ribbon and declare this book officially launched. Let's give them a round of applause as they do this.
A round of applause. Let's do this. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you a Comrade Forever. Wapi shangwe na vigelegele for Albert Maloba. Thank you, DJ.
Albert Maloba is now officially an author here in the Republic of Kenya.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, Albert Maloba.
Thank you
a
so
very
much.
Big congratulations.
Yeah. DJ umetuangusha.
DJ, take it away. Thank you. makofi ya mheshimiwa for the good gesture. I want to invite the former president for Kenyatta University, Mr. Karanja, to briefly make a remark. Let's give him a round of applause as he comes. Karibu sana.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable PS Fikirini Jacobs, and all protocols observed. How are you this evening? How are you this evening? You're happy but hungry, yeah? So I'll be quick to say what I'm about to say, and then we'll invite the PS on stage. So my name is Bernard Karanja, doctor, former president, Kenyatta University, and a friend to Maloba. I can see someone talking to the PS, and I wanted PS to listen to this. I'm waiting for whoever is talking to the PS to allow the PS to listen to this. So Maloba is a great friend of mine, and we've done a lot together. We served during the same time. I was in KU, he was at Moi, among other friends like Obiero here, who was at Cooperative University. We did a lot together, and I'm happy today that he's putting those memories on paper. We had so many fights. Maloba and I used to fight a lot, by the way, because Maloba is one person who will always push. He will tell you guys, we have to do this. One of our most memorable moments, Maloba, was when we formed the University President's Council. And the University President's Council was supposed to be an alternative to KUSO. So we used to fight KUSO and University President's Council. Maloba was the chair and I was the SecGen. And I remember one time we went to Mombasa for a conference. So we opined that KUSO was slowly becoming defunct, and we wanted to phase out KUSO. We wanted to bring in a council that would be more like Council of Governors, but now this time for university presidents. Maloba as the chair, of course. So one time we went to Mombasa for a conference, for a student leaders conference. And then my brother Fikirini, who is now the PS, and Manyara, who was here, came. Remember, we are putting up a fight to have KUSO out of the picture so that we can now have a new body that will take care of the students. And I remember Maloba blocking Fikirini and Manyara from speaking. So then the moderator then was Peter Quest. So we told Peter Quest, if you allow Maloba, if you allow Fikirini and Manyara to speak, you will be stamping, you'll be giving life to KUSO. And everyone in that room was against KUSO then. So that's how I think Fikirini was just allowed to pray, if I'm not wrong. I'm so happy to see that we are slowly graduating from the student leaders that we used to be to now national leaders. PS, when we left university, most of us didn't know how to transition to the national platform. So we've been working around the clock to make sure that we hold the hands of those who came after us so that they're able to also transition and get into the national space. And tonight we ask you that as a PS for youth, help us in this bid. We don't want these young souls who've been student leaders to get lost in the middle. We want all of them to graduate and get into the national arena, because those are the brains that we need to see at the top, the brains that must change this country. I want to congratulate my brother, Maloba, for this big milestone, and pray that this book, as it has already been said, gains the wings and goes on its own. So I wish you all the best this evening, and may God bless you.
So let's give him a round of applause for his remarks. All right, thank you. I think we've gotten to the pinnacle point of our event. For any inconveniences that have come through based on time, on behalf of the team, we do duly apologize. I want to take this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, to invite our PS for Youth Affairs, Fikirini Jacobs, a name not so new in Comrades Corners. Let's give a round of applause for Fikirini Jacobs as he comes. Karibu sana.
Comrades power. Hapana bana. Hiyo ni power gani sasa? Hiyo ni Kengen. Hiyo ni Kengen. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, comrades and friends, my name is Fikirini Jacobs, the Principal Secretary. So very privileged, by the way, to introduce myself to you as a Principal Secretary in charge of the State Department for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy. A Comrade Forever. Yeah. I am particularly privileged to appear here this evening for a very historic moment where our good comrade and friend Maloba put together his thoughts and experience and the journey of student leadership, and thought to go ahead of many of us who would have wished to actually have done the same. And now he's brought us here to come and celebrate a moment where he's launching a book. So, Maloba, it is said in the African culture that, you know, just sit, comrade. It is said in the African culture that the reason why it's advisable for one to be like our comrade sister Faith. You understand faith is condition. The reason why it's advisable to have a micro comrade walk alongside you, it is such that, no, you can just sit. It is such that you can guarantee continuity of your generation. But I believe that is a little bit conservative and traditional. The ability to put together your thoughts in a book, it is what guarantees sustainability and continuity of your thoughts and life. And that is why Maloba has done. So Maloba, even without getting someone for yourself, oh, God forbid, you are still taken care of. I think your future is guaranteed that you will be remembered either way. So congratulations, and I'm so sorry, by the way, for coming here a little bit late. I honestly thought this event is tomorrow. I think I did not put a reminder for myself. But again, I have had a very long day, I think from 7 till right now, when we had the first US-Kenya Creative Economy Forum 2025 at the Ole Sereni. So that's where I'm really coming from, trying to expand the base for foreign direct investment in the creative space, so that then we can, by so doing, get a space for our very many young creatives to grow their brands that way. So that's why I came here a little bit late. But I'm so happy to see a majority of you who we interacted during our times as student leaders. I was the president of Pony University after my expulsion from Masai Mara University, almost the same time as Maloba and Karanja. Karanja, I'm happy to see Karanja today. He looks a little bit courageous. Those days, Karanja was clearly very timid. Karanja bana sisi. Karanja used to come, you come from Molo, right? And you wanted to be a member of parliament for Molo that time. I remember. You deferred that dream, but of course it will come to pass someday, maybe. So, Karanja, Maloba, and many more hapa, walikuwa vijana wanajifunza siasa ya kuso. And mimi nilipata nafasi ya kuwasaidia kuelewa siasa kidogo, pamoja na Ann Mvurya na jamaa mmoja mwenye mandevu hapa Nairobi anaitwa Manyara. I told Manyara to stop now and hand over to other guys to call themselves the student leaders. You know, sometimes you have this beard and you introduce yourself as student leader, some other guys can no longer take you serious. Tuachie wengine. So, yo Karanja, whatever you're saying, the first avenue we can create a link, and this is a discussion I had with my brother Manyara for a very long time, that there is a very big disconnect between the student leaders who are now in the national space and those of us down there. What has been missing is the link, you know, which can act now as the buoyance to take us now, you know, to the national space. And I thought my comrade brother stood a better chance to do that. But now he told me East Africa community was calling him to be the president, and later Africa. So we gave him that space, and I understand he's the president for Africa now. Wewe ushasikia mtu anaitwa Kateli wa Campus Politics. Yeah, but he's doing well all the same. He's a good senior to us. We wish you all the best all the same. Forever, comrade. So, Maloba, I'm happy for you, my brother, for the kind of transition. It's not easy, clearly, to move from this normal day campus politics to where we have, especially at a time when there are a lot of changes in what we used to call as student leadership, comradeship. I think a lot of things have really changed, by the way. In fact, those student leaders who came after us here, we will be happy to mentor you. I think our lot was the last lot to have these guys now who have, who used to have, wana huo PSC huko nje kidogo, hapa tuongee comradeship, si ndio? The guys who used to have extremely tough balls, which could even face the Benguela warm current and come back alive. That generation, almost, you will allow me to say, went with us. Nasikia bana? So, for you who are student leaders or aspirational student leaders, take very serious the writings of Maloba, because at least you'll get to know the experience of Moi University leadership at that time. Maloba came to student leadership at a time I was the president for KUSO, for the first KUSO. Manyara was for the second KUSO, and Nimo was the third KUSO. Now, 700 students from Moi University had been expunged from the graduation list. I remember that time. I am one of the student leaders who put up a case in the court, and won, by the way. You know? In fact, the judgment of that case was delivered at White Sands when these judges had their annual retreat at White Sands. And that's where, in one of the rooms in White Sands Hotel in Mombasa, the judge delivered the judgment. And Moi University was compelled, just like I've seen with, is it Kenyatta University? Which have been compelled to pay students for missing in the graduation list, some missing marks and stuff. You see, so we picked up that battle that time. But ours was, you know, right from the heart. It was a fight for comrades. And that's why I ended up earning 2 expulsions, 2 prestigious expulsions. You know, one from Masemara University and one from Pwani University, where I later on had an opportunity to go back and finish. And right now I'm wiser than I was. You know? So we wish you the very best. I'm privileged now, I'm the PS for Youth Affairs and Creative Economy, where a majority of us belong to. My office sits at Talanta Plaza, Upper Hill, on the 6th floor. And that is a comrade's office. That is a comrade's office. You come to that office anytime and you'll be surprised. That is almost a lecture hall. Because guys are there from 7 till late in the night. In fact, averagely, I leave that office at 8 p.m. every day, especially if it's other than the days that I go out like today for outdoor events. So you're always welcome. Please, let's grow the spirit of comradeship. A comrade, in the normal definition, is a communist, a socialist, a fellow. In the trade unionists, they dropped the name comrade and embraced brother. That's why you hear the Secretary General, Forever Comrade Atuoli, called Brother Atuoli. So it's synonymous to having us as comrades. So a comrade is a fellow communist, a fellow socialist. You see? So let's grow that spirit. Let's grow comradeship. In a world like this, when we are poised to take over, different spaces and lead the way, I encourage us to keep on holding our comradeship. I will tell you something which I said when I was campaigning, that the forces that unite us together as comrades must always be the stronger than the superimposed influences that threaten to keep us apart all the time. So whether you went to Moi University, like Maloba, I've sat with him now, but he went to Pwani University. There's another one like Karanja who went to Kenyatta University, but I'm sure there's another gentleman here I've seen who went to Gretza University. There is Zitek. There's a University of Kabianga. I said University of Kabianga, not like what some other guys used to call. Is there anyone, by the way, from University of Kabianga here? University of Kabianga? Not Kabianga High School, University of Kabianga. University of Eldoret, Kirinyaga, Meru, cooperative like this comrade who is so much into fashion. Bwana wewe huchoki hii maneno. This is a comrade, a long-time comrade from that time. So, good comrades, brothers and sisters, it's always a pleasure to meet with you. I am in the government now, the government of Dr. William Ruto, broad-based government per se. And as a comrade, I readily took this opportunity and endorsed my appointment into government because I thought, like some of you, or like some would have thought otherwise. For me, if I'm to stand on the path of opposition, it is to the extent that I think I have an alternative given an opportunity. I'm not the kind of person you'll stop on the road like I could see some guys, they are given a microphone, wanaambiwa sasa wewe bana, uko demo hebu tueleze, given an opportunity today, you meet the president, what will you tell him? Yawambia mimi sina maoni. Sasa mimi niko na maoni bwana. So you had these guys who say mimi sina maoni kabisa bwana. So mimi niko na maoni. And I think it's an opportunity for us to develop ourselves to create a future for this country through that State Department. We've really strived so much to spice up the State Department, and I welcome you on board. There are many things we are running. Lakini hiyo hatuwezi ongea kila kitu hapa. Cha hapa leo ni kuhusu kitabu ya comrade anaitwa Maloba. Sawa sawa bana. So Karanja, pick 2-3 guys here, mentor them the same way I'm doing for you and many others. You know I'm still mentoring you. Maloba pia, pick some few ladies and gentlemen here, mentor them. Sawa sawa bana. Let's mentor these guys. Ndo tukipatana hapo 2090 something yuko mbele. Ama nyinyi mnafikiri hamtafika huko? Tutapatana huko 2090 something yuko. Ama 3001 huko. That's too far, but we'll get there really. Hapezi kosa mmoja wetu atafika hapa, Mungu mmoja. And whoever will get there, wapie jamaa, tulikuwa na majamaa walikuwa na imani ya kufika huko, lakini mambo ilikuwa ngumu sana. So, ladies and gentlemen, I don't wish to barrage you with a lot of my pieties of wisdom. I wish to stop there, wishing you the very best. Nilitamani ninunulie vitabu jamaa kidogo hapa. at least mwende msome. Lakini tafadhali msome hii kitabu. Because I know we have one big problem in the African culture where the white people believe if you want to hide something from an African, put it in a book. That's what they believe. Because they believe when they put something hapo kwa kitabu, jamaa hatafungua hata siku moja kusoma. Go read these books. In fact, in your small groups, compete. Sometimes when I hold a book and I see the number of pages, I can guess the number of hours I need to read that book consistently. Someni kitabu, mmalize kitabu ya jamaa, tungoje Karanja atengeneze kitabu yake, tungoje Manyara atengeneze ingine, tukuje tu launch hapa. Na Faith, Judy, na huyu wewe bwana David ulete kitabu hapa, mambo ya fashion, kutoka kwa Cooperative University. Sawa, alafu mimi yangu ndio itakuwa ya mwisho ya kufunga file sasa. Yangu itakuwa Bible. So ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Mimi nitanunua hapa vitabu 20. Books. The only number of books which I need for my people from coast I will buy outside of these ones. Hizi nataka zinunuliwe zaiganyie jamaa hapa. Then I'll buy some for some gentlemen I want to take to coast so that I can also encourage them to read. Sawa bana. We wish you the very best and please welcome to our office any day. Namba zangu ziko kila mahali bwana. Sawa bana. Kama namba yangu umeikosa kabisa, ambia Safaricom wakupatie. Hata wanajua. It's okay. My number is 0707843131. Sio namba za rahisi kama namba ya mganga bana, unasahau namna gani ndugu yangu. 0707 on the one side 0707. On the middle is 84. Then on the other side is 3131. Ni sawa? Hiyo anytime. Msikubali bana kulala njaa kama comrade yuko hapa. Tafadhali sana.
Anaitwa PS.
Sasa wewe wataka namba mataka
PS Fikirini Jacob.
Angalia huyu. Wewe wataka namba wataka jina bana. Jina itakusaidia na nini? That is the number. Let's talk anytime. I have a WhatsApp number also. It's important you take it. Najua comrades unaweza ukapata wifi hata ya bar ukatafuta bana. 0734 002014. 0734 002014. That's for my WhatsApp. The other one is near transaction. Hii ingine ni WhatsApp. Feel free to reach out to me anytime. Mimi I'm very easy and accessible any day jamaa. Sawa. Wishing you the very best. Thanks.
Haya, kwa heshima na taadhima tumpatie makofi ya hali ya juu katibu wetu hapo anapochukua kitabu hicho. Asante. Naomba utoke kwenye picha tafadhali kidogo ili tukapate kupata picha hii. Kumbukumbu ni muhimu. Mimi natoka kule Mombasa, zalio pale Mtomondoni. Asante. Haya. So Maloba uko sawa? Naomba sasa upatiane hizo vitabu, muangalie mbele. Future Presidencies here. Na hiyo ni ndio ile itakwenda pale kwenye gazeti asubuhi. Haya. So members of the fourth estate, tunaweza pata handshake. Asante sana. Faith, ningeomba upande kuuje pale. Alafu we get other two presidents.
Or didn't get the first batch of books from the government spokesperson. We have 20 from the PS.
Thank you very much. Remember, the future is yours. Hata kama ni shilingi moja. Aya, asante.
Okay, let's stand up for the national anthem. Mungu nguvu yetu, ilete baraka kwetu, haki iwe ngao na mlinzi, na tukae na uhuru, amani na undugu, raha tupate na ustawi. Asante sana.
At ease. Yeah. So exit protocols, you kindly allow our peers as a comrade to exit and together with the guests. And then thereafter, you guys can go and dine and wine. Maloba nasikia amenunua the whole house.
Oh, fine. Thank you so much, members of Fourth Estate. My name is Albert Maloba. I'm really grateful for your coming. Every person who has come to grace this occasion, my launch of my first book, A Comrade Forever. I never thought ever in my life that I'll ever be a writer, but I think immediately after campus, and of course through many of our storms in life, is where we sit down and we realize that sometimes we find friendship in only a single pen and a paper. So it sometimes begins by you just drawing even your first page. How do you want your page of the book or the design of the page to look like? I remember my first time drawing how I would like my book to look like. And that was in 2021. And it's now an idea, full idea, fully into a book. It is more of a memoir, speaking into life of the life experience, how I grew up in Samia. I come from Samia constituency, that is Funyula in Busia County. Grew up in the village just like any other boys, going to take care of the cattle in the hills and coming back in the evening, yeah, after you have taken them for grazing and all that, doing the house chores at home, going to class and sneaking in even very late after the class has begun, you know, through the window. And it's a story with beautiful memories. My campus life, of course, as a leader and the experiences that were there, what it entails to be a comrade and a student leader, what happens around the university lifestyle and all that. It is all covered in this book. So I invite everybody, every Kenyan, every young person, those who want to aspire to be leaders, the young leaders, those who are parents that they want to see the life of their young people, their young children who are in universities and they're aspiring to be leaders. I think leadership to me is just like any other thing that should be nurtured, should be watered very time to time. Leadership to me is like marathon. The way we see marathoners running, training every day, every morning, waking up in the morning to go and train in the cold, in the night, just to build up their muscles so that they can go and win those golds abroad, is how leadership should be like. I think when we focus on transforming our leadership, especially to young people, we'll have a very transformed nation. We find that we are aching as a nation in terms of leadership just because we never nurture the aspect leadership, especially at a very young age. So for me, as a young person and a very young leader, I am very much motivated to mentor so many young people, to speak to so many young people, to represent them, to advocate for them, and just to speak the truth to power that it is possible to be a leader and to be in any space. Those who are in entrepreneurship, those who are in politics, those who are in social spaces, creatives and all that. So it is a new era, dawn of new era that is with us. And so we should support new talents. So I think I thank God that I also have a talent of writing. And being this as a first book, I think there are many more which I'll write. I'll do the second edition, the third edition. Annually, I think I'll be trying to rewrite and see what is new that we can add in this Comrade Forever. I look at comradeship as a kind of, the reason why a Comrade Forever, as a title someone would ask, is because, first of all, I looked at it as, when this idea came to me, I looked at it that my first comrade on planet Earth was my late mom, Mama Alice Yenya Reggie, the late, who really loved us and loved me so much, and of whose inspirations and instilled values are still reigning in me. And I think this is evident to many of my friends, my colleagues, and people that I interact with, that comradeship goes beyond the university lifestyle, where we call it in terms of, where we look at it in terms of activism, but it is more of the network that you've created, the family that you've created amongst each other. As media people, you are comrades to each other. When you ask one person a link so that you can download and put your news on the other media station, it's just out of comradeship, and that needs to be nurtured, needs to be watered, needs to be inspired to so many people and many amongst us, so that we can live amongst each other and upendo. And I was very, very happy for the many guests who have come during this launch. We've had the government spokesperson, Honorable Maura. He was a student leader. We we are now having Fikirini Jacobs, who is also a student leader, and he's now principal secretary. This is so amazing. He's a young man. It is very inspiring to me and even to many young people who are here to witness this book launch. And this is my first decision. Yeah, this is my first. Yeah. So I think when we were to support young leaders, especially student leaders, to me I think we'll have a very good nation. When you look at the likes of Honorable Maura, we saw them. Kina Gladys Wanga right now, she's a chairperson of the biggest party in Kenya, ODM. So this shows that leadership can truly be nurtured. It is a testament that actually you can have good leaders when they have really been nurtured from the beginning. When you just see that there is something in them and they need to be supported. We are seeing the best member of parliament today. I think that is by a certain statistics. Babu, he's doing well in Embakasi East. He was a student leader. James Orengo was a student leader, and many other. Kanyata was a student leader. Kipchumba Murkomen was a student leader. And so there is something about being a student leader that when we support our student leaders, and that is my clarion call, that I wish we have even a state department in the Ministry of Education dedicated to support student leaders, because it's a talent. That is where we can get our leaders. When we talk about corruption and many things that are injustices that are happening within our systems, is because our leaders have not been properly taken through the processes of being ironed up to become good leaders that will serve diligently without any issues that end out from people that they don't know maybe how to represent them, they don't know how to address issues, they don't know how to implement matters, and they don't know how to come up with policies. So I think leadership, to me, especially from young people, should be nurtured. Thank you.
The most educated, the most intelligent people are the ones who rummage through the pages to learn from the experience of others. So this is just a clarion call so that we increase our reading culture. And by the way, much as we are saying that there is that shortened constitution span, my experience with publishers is that actually people do actually read. We are only calling upon the Gen Zs and the young people to not lose this power. This book has got a very good life experience of one of your own, a young person, who is trying to tell you, if you want to aspire to be a student leader, how do you become one? So the government, of course, will continue to supply books to schools. This year alone, we have given 9.9 million books to all the primary schools. And now we have launched a new tracking system called Chemis, so that we allocate every book to every learner that is deserving. Now, the issue of finance bill. It is important to say that there are some people in the civil society who are peddling falsehoods and misinformation. People who want to incite the members of the public so that they can get bonga points and posture to foreign funders. Let me take an example before I come to your question. Diana Gishengo, this lady of the Institute of Social Accountability, I have a bone to chew with you. How do you go on Spice FM and lie to Kenyans that my office has got 36 billion? How do you tell Kenyans that the advisors of the president earn 24 billion? That's a lie, a very big lie. The budget of my office is not even 100 million, my friend. But because you are posturing for donors and you want to be sensational, that is why even that media house, I asked for a right of reply and they never gave me. So I think let's be careful. Let us not incite Kenyans because we want to create another finance bill moment for last year. And this time round, we will not allow our country to go down the drain.